How are you? Hey guys and gals, Paul Burry from Family Friendly Gaming, and I'm gonna do an FFG Sports on WrestleMania 41. So I've got the different matches here to help remind me everything Noah and I watched. We did watch it live. Noah and I both watched it live. Um, so it kicked off on, and it was two nights. So it was Saturday night and Sunday night. So it kicked off on Saturday night, and we had the World Heavyweight Championship match between Jey Uso and Gunther. And this was a pretty classic standard match you would expect. Jey Uso wound up getting the win, and big celebration. In fact, there's going to be a trend here. You're going to notice a lot of the champions lost their belts, unless they were like a pretty new champion. But if they've had it for a bit, they seem to be losing in WrestleMania 41. Enjoyed it. It's just me, Us. Song played the front and the end, and Gunther was not very happy. He lost, of course, but that's how they do it with the storylines. And then, of course, Jay's brother came out there to celebrate with him. So that was, again, they had lots of nice moments in that one, I'll say. So the next one was New Day versus War Raiders. And now, the New Day is now, they're now heels, they're now villains, they're the bad guys. But I could tell they were going to be the winners during the match, because they were showing all the stuff that all the horrible, hateful things that would happen in New Day by others, and it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna definitely win. They won, and part of that, the storyline is Big E's got the broken neck and he still can't come back, and he's probably not ever coming back. So they did that whole spiel on why they're doing what they're doing. But at the end of the day, I liked it. I thought it was a good match, and I thought it was neat to see the New Day win. It just reminds me, I really wish they would do more Texas Tornado tag team matches, which is, in essence, forget the whole tagging, because I'm so sick and tired of, the good guys getting beat up by the bad guys, and they're tagging in and out, and then the other good guy's like, I want to tag, let me in, and then he finally gets in, and he goes, and it's like, after a while, you've seen that so many hundreds of times, it's like, can't we do some different stuff? So I like seeing lots of the two guys in there doing stuff against each other, or 2-on-2. So that was more fascinating. But yeah, I actually liked that match, and I predicted that. So New Day, new tag team champions, again, expected. Yeah. So and again, there's another title change. So then we had Jade Cargill versus Naomi, and the storyline was Naomi had injured her at some point in the past, and Jade Cargill was coming back to get it, and it was jealousy, and Naomi was like on the outs with the three of them, the friends, typical. They keep pushing it, and what really sticks out for me is the announcers. You can really tell how extreme the announcers are, I'll say. Because what winds up happening is you see the women screwing up, botching moves, having to do it a second time, trying, just like, what were you going for? What were you doing? Doing things wrong, and the announcers try to cover it up and hide it and make it sound like, oh, it's so amazing. No, it's not. It's a chore. Jade Cargill wound up getting the win, and quite honestly, I could care less. I didn't care about either of these people. I didn't care about the storyline. None of that interested me one bit. I was just like, meh, whatever. I was just glad when it was done, honestly. The next match was for the United States Championship. Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. LA Knight was the champion, and he's got his cool little LA Knight, yeah. So that was kind of neat. He's over with fans. It's cool to see him over still, and continue to be over. They decided to have him drop the title to Jacob Fatu, and so Jacob Fatu is the new United States champion. It was an okay match. I would have preferred LA Knight getting some kind of win somehow, but I guess they're really pushing Jacob Fatu to the moon right now. That's fine. They want to push him. Cool, whatever. It's kind of like whatever. But I think LA Knight did a good job. And then they had the storyline was LA Knight has been a fighting champion, and he just recently defended a couple days ago or the night before or whatever, and he's probably still injured from other matches. And I mean, they've done that before with others. I think they had a Becky Lynch match the previous year. They did the same thing, or she had the flu or something, and they give some excuse for the heroes losing. But still, I'm more behind LA Knight than Fatu. Fatu, meh. I understand they're pushing the whole Samoan legacy family and all that. Okay. Fatu doesn't do much for me. I don't really see him as that impressive, but whatever. All right, so then we got into a really fun, cool match. El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix. And so it was supposed to be Rey Mysterio Jr., but Rey Mysterio Jr. got injured. He couldn't compete. So El Grande Americano was against Rey Fenix. And they're doing this whole thing that he's got a mask on, and it's actually Chad Gable and all of that. It's clever, it's cute, it's funny. And El Americano is hilarious, quite honestly. He did a great job. He won the match easily, as expected. I figure he probably would have beaten Rey Mysterio as well. And then of course he keeps his mask, and there's still mystery about who he actually is. Like I said, I found the El Grande Americano hilarious, and I think they got a good little shtick going here. They did the same thing with Hulk Hogan and the Patriot in the past, so this isn't like this is like a brand new idea. Like I said, still, Noah and I both think El Grande Americano is hilarious. He's great. It's giving Chad Gable something to do, ultimately. So that's kind of cool. That was a fun match. That was good. The next match was Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. And quite honestly, we both wanted Charlotte Flair to win this. She didn't. She dropped it. Tiffany Stratton stayed champion, so this is one of the few champions that retained their title. I guess, from what I understand, Tiffany Stratton is a pretty new champion. I guess they're going to give her a longer title reign. Quite honestly, it's like, I didn't see much in her, and she was botching moves, and I'm like, this is your champion? Like, all these botched moves? Charlotte Flair was doing better. So I just kind of like, what are you doing? And one of the biggest problems with that match is both of them have really long blonde hair, so when their heads are down, and you're trying to figure out who's who. You're like, blonde and blonde. Who are you? Which one's where? Who's doing what? Who's trying to do what move on who? So there was some of that. Ultimately, Stratton did not impress me. Her whole Tiffany time is just like, whatever. I thought Charlotte Flair was better, but that they decided to not give her another title reign. I don't know if that'd be like her 15th or something, and maybe they're worried about that and keeping the numbers and all that. All right, so then the final match on Saturday night was a triple threat match: Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, and this was a fantastic match. Fantastic, however you want to put it. Great match. The three of them had great chemistry. They worked together well. They always had it going, and there would be so many swerves about who was going to win, and at one point it looks like one person, and it looks like the other person, looks like the third person, on and on and on and on and on. I mean, it just kept going. Like I say, it was a great match, a lot of fun. They really did a good job, the three of them. At the end, Paul Heyman came out with a chair, and Paul Heyman did not need to come out with a chair. And this thing, I told Noah, I said, when the match was going and we were watching, and it was just back and forth, and you couldn't figure out who was going to wind up winning, I said, I have a feeling Paul Heyman's going to get involved somehow, and he will be the deciding factor. And I was right. Paul Heyman wound up bringing a chair out and giving the chair. So it was like Roman Reigns and CM Punk are both laying on the mat, and Seth Rollins is laying down on the other side of the ring. And so Paul Heyman gives CM Punk the chair because he's his friend, and CM Punk had called him a favor to have him come be in his corner for the match. And he gives CM Punk the chair. Then when CM Punk starts going over to get Roman Reigns, and then Paul Heyman was telling him to go get Seth Rollins. So he goes over to hit Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman, arm up the middle of the legs and hits him in the testicular fortitude, and CM Punk goes down. So then Paul Heyman crawls over to Roman Reigns, gives him the chair, and Roman Reigns whacks CM Punk a few times with the chair. And then he's going to go over to Seth Rollins and arm up between the legs again on Roman Reigns, hits him in the testicular fortitude, has him go down, helps Seth Rollins up, gives him the chair, and Seth whacks Roman a few times and gets the win. And then people are like, why did Paul Heyman do it? Oh, big shock. I thought it was a good ending. Like I said, it was a great match, and it was a good ending to a great match. A lot of us did want CM Punk to wind up winning it, but, that's how it went. So, okay, so then on Sunday night, there was a triple threat match for the Women's World Heavyweight Champion, Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. And, yeah. Torture is how I'll just put this match. Just absolutely torture. It's certainly not as good as the men's triple threat. Again, women botching moves, and we're supposed to believe Io Sky is somehow able to compete with these two. I just don't buy it. Io Sky retained the titles. Here's another one that retained the title. It's like the women kept their titles, not the men. Whatever. Did not enjoy that match. Did not like that match. It could not be over sooner for me. Io Sky won. I could care less. I don't really like Bianca Belair. I'm okay on Rhea Ripley. I would have preferred Rhea Ripley get the title, but they wanted to keep Io Sky with the title and try to build her up as oh, she's such a champion. She's like half their size or something. You're like, yeah, she's not believable to me, but whatever. That's what they did, so All right, then we had Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight. This was actually decent. So I like Drew McIntyre. I'm on Damian Priest, but they had a really good match, lots of good spots, and it was great to see Drew McIntyre get the win and be proven right. And they had a good storyline about how Damian Priest had taken the title from him when he won it the previous year, and he was finally getting around to getting to him. So I liked it. I thought it was a cool match, and like I said, I was happy with the ending. I was happy that Drew won. I was hoping he would win. I thought they might go Damian Priest, but it was neat to see Drew get the win. All right, so the next one was for the Intercontinental Championship. Dominic Mysterio versus Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor versus Penta. Now, Braun Breaker came in there with the title as champion, and Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom, got the title win at the end. The ending was fantastic. The whole match was really good. I mean, this was a really good Fatal 4-Way. They were really going at it, and the ending was fantastic. It was like Finn Balor was about ready to win because he stomped, I think probably Braun Breaker, I think if I remember right. He stomped him, and from the top rope he jumps and stomps on him. And then Dominic comes over and does a frog splash on his own Judgment Day friend, and winds up pinning him and getting the title. And the fans popped for Dirty Dom, and he ran down there and celebrated with the title after getting the win. So that one was clever, and I liked the ending. I don't think it hurt anyone else that they didn't get a win there. I don't think it hurt Penta. It didn't hurt Braun Breaker. I thought maybe that Braun's going to go up to a different higher league or higher level, in WWE. But I thought that was clever and funny, and it was a great, character wise. Now obviously there's going to be trouble between Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, but that's how it looks like the storyline's gonna play out. But yeah, very good match. All right, so then Randy Orton had this open challenge, like whoever wants to come out. So the guy that came out was Joe Henry, and Joe Henry was the what do you call it? The TNA World Championship, and he'd sit there and like turn and be like, and so he did this smile thing, and it was a very short match, but very clever, very fun. And Randy Orton looked like he got to have some fun with it because he'd sit there at the end after he beat John Henry. He did the whole thing, so that was kind of neat. I kind of enjoyed that match quite a bit, so I was happy to see that one, and it was kind of a breath of fresh air. The next one was Logan Paul and AJ Styles. Logan Paul being the young buck who didn't have to really pay his dues, and AJ Styles, the wily veteran, wants to make him pay his dues. Logan Paul had a great intro. He's got a new intro song about I'm still humble. I looked around for it. I couldn't find a copy to get on iTunes, but if I can find that song someday, I'd like to get it. Very, very cool song, and he was playing with the drone during his intro, so that was pretty neat. Now Logan Paul did get the win. I can't remember. I think he cheated somehow to get the win, but he got the win. Oh yeah. AJ was given an opportunity to use the brass knucks. He didn't, and then he wound up losing for it. I think they're doing a good job of slowly building Logan Paul. We'll see where he goes. All right, so next was WWE Women's Tag Match. Lyra Valkyrie and Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And Valkyrie and Lynch wound up winning. So they're new champions. Another women's match. I guess this is the first women's match I've talked about where they actually had a title change. Could care less. Again, botched moves are not as good. I hate to say it. They aren't. They try. But I was just like... Thankfully, the match ended, and we could move on to the undisputed WWE Championship between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Now, I have confusion. I get giving Cena the title. I got no problem with him giving Cena his 17th title reign. Whatever. Travis Scott came out there, interfered, and last year there was interference, but Cody had people come to help him to help stop the interference to equal it. But this year we're not going to have that. I get The Rock not being there, and John Cena playing dirty and doing horrible things to get the win. I mean, makes perfect sense as a heel. Cena's doing a good job doing the heel stuff. But Cody had it for a year, and Noah was like very unhappy about this and mad at Travis Scott and mad at John Cena. And I'm like, they're doing a good job playing heels. First off, second off, kind of, like I said, Cody had it for a year. I don't know what they're gonna do with Cody going forward. I don't know if he's gonna get a break, if he's gonna come back and try to get the title. From what I heard, it looks like Randy Orton might be next against John Cena. So, okay, I mean, there are plenty of people. They could put Gunther against John Cena. That would be interesting. And Cena doing that orange, was it orange Cassius or something? The kind of just like, I don't care, it doesn't matter thing. That's an interesting thing for John Cena to be doing. I think a lot of us are expecting him to kind of do the rap insult stuff, but he doesn't seem to. He's just kind of more low energy now, which is fine. Like I said, I kind of expected Cena would most likely get it. I didn't expect it to be that way. Now, I don't know if they're going to do a heel turn for Cody now or what, but I guess we'll see. But all in all, it was a decent WrestleMania, and there were plenty of fun moments. So that's kind of our thoughts on this FFG Sports on WrestleMania 41. Bye.